I have only ever used oil pastels once in my life. This was the drawing that I made, and ever since I made that, I just haven't touched it again. Last summer, I bought a cheap pack of oil pastels off of Amazon. The brand was Artecho, I think. Artecho, I don't know. And it came with 48 colors. I don't know if the brand is any good or not. I only got this because it was on offer. I got it for quite cheap. And I wanted to learn. Today was the first sunny day in London all year. There was a high of 17 degrees Celsius. It was sunny, it was warm, and like the plant that I am, I need to photosynthesize. The sun rejuvenates and motivates me, and I was feeling really creative, and I specifically wanted to use a lot of color, and I was craving something that was a little bit messy, a little bit chaotic. So I didn't want to just do pen or pencil sketches. I debated using paints, but I wasn't really feeling that either. And so I thought that I'd whip out my oil pastels again. So off camera, I sketched out a few frogs and bees. You saw this at the very beginning of the video when I was flipping the page. But I wanted to be more free and loose. I didn't want to make little sketches. I wanted to use a whole page and actually cover it and not just have little elements floating around on the page, if that makes sense. Like, for a medium where I feel like the beauty of it is kind of in its unpredictability and the chaoticness and the messiness, kind of like with paints. I like when it's a little bit big and loose and free and messy and creative, and that's what I was going for. That's what I wanted to do today. The first page here is kind of a Claude Monet-esque style pond with some lily pads and water lilies. And I am very unfamiliar with oil pastels, so I don't know how to use them. I'm not going to pretend like I know what I was doing. So especially the beginning consisted of a lot of scribbling and just mark making. And then I ended up using the lightest colors to blend out the marks, kind of smooth it. And yeah, I kind of just went back and forth with the marks until it started to create a little bit of an image. But I wanted to keep it more abstract and impressionist, like the Monet style. So I didn't want it looking, realistic, but I guess oil pastels wouldn't really be the tool to use anyway for that method or for that style. And yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with this. I had so much fun with this that I then did a second page. But yeah, I really like the little flowers. I feel like you can tell that they're flowers. I'm not sure you can tell that there's lily pads, but I'm not super happy with the sky. I think the top half of the page is not that nice, but I'm gonna cut myself a little bit of slack because this is the second time I've ever used oil pastels. So I'm still learning. Maybe one day I'll come back and recreate this image. There was supposed to be a sky and these little like vines or bushes with some flowers in, but don't know if that reads. But I had fun with it regardless, and that's all that really matters here anyway. For the second page, I decided to draw some pears. I have very little experience with still life. I say little experience. I have practically none. We did have life drawing for 2 years at uni, but it was always live models. I've never once drawn like a bowl of fruit. I feel like that's a very common practice for artists as well. Everyone draws a bowl of fruit at some point, but we actually never did that in life drawing, and I've never really done it on my own. I did draw some fruit once. I did record this. I believe this is a YouTube video here somewhere. But I was using wax pastels that time, so they're more like little crayons. So I feel like they're more similar to pencils rather than pastels. So I did draw a few fruit then, but I wanted to try it out with some oil pastels because I feel like that's something I see a lot online, and like I feel like the oil pastels really work for still lifes like this. I feel like it gives the images so much personality, and I think that the texture and the mark making and all that just really, really works for things like this. So I thought I'd try it for myself. And yeah, I thought that the pears were really cute. I really like the yellows and the oranges and the greens. I think the hardest thing with still lifes for me is replicating colors in photographs. I find that really difficult. Again, I haven't really done it before. So trying to understand like exactly what colors I'm seeing at the different places, because it's easy to look at a pear and go, that's green. But then if you actually stare, or if you were to color drop the different parts of a pear, you'd see very different colors, but it's not something that you really see unless you really train yourself to. And I wouldn't consider myself trained, despite being an artist, but a lot of the coloring I don't really use references for. And also I mainly draw characters and people, so I don't have to worry so much about the different hues of a pear and how, lighting and shadows and stuff affect it, but maybe this is something I should do a bit more often so I can learn a little. And yeah, after I drew the pears, I thought that the background needed a little bit more color. So it's not just pears floating in a white background, so I added this cute little purple. And yeah, I really like the first pear that I colored. It's the pear that's behind the other pear. I think that one turned out the best. I didn't spend too long on these pages either. And yeah, I feel good. I feel creative. I feel rejuvenated, both from the sun and also from drawing and being creative and making something that I both had fun doing and also like the outcome of. And yeah, I really love the texture, especially when I'm looking at the pears. I love the texture. I think the oil pastels really work with still life images or still life drawings. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, oil pastel stuff, let me know. I'll try it again. To some projects that I'm working on at the moment, I'm still working on Freerin fan art. I have finished Freerin herself, but I'm drawing another character, and I was going to have the two in the same video. But I did Freerin a few weeks back, and I just haven't finished the other character. I haven't worked on it. And I would have done it today, but I didn't really feel like painting, and they're both like watercolor paintings. So hopefully sometime soon I'll have it finished and it can be my next video. Other than that, I am just about to start my final major project for my university. I'm a final year illustration student, so this project's going to be a big one. But I want to take you guys along for that, so I will be recording. I'll make a video out of that. So in the meantime, you can always follow me on Instagram because I post like work in progress shots and behind the scenes things on my story that I don't post on TikTok or YouTube. So you can go follow me there to keep up with, the process of the FMP, I guess, when I do start on it. And other than that, I'm also working on making my very first website, which is really exciting. This is also for uni. It's another project that I have to do as a soon-to-be illustration graduate. So I'm working on a website, and that will be like my little portfolio online, and hopefully I'll be really happy with it, and I can keep it for after uni as well. If I'm not happy with it, I'll just make a second one after uni because I'm making it for free. I'll show you guys that when I am done with it. To the things that I've been up to lately, book-wise, we're only 2 months into 2026, and I've already finished 5 books, and I know that's not a lot to a lot of people, but considering the fact that I've read, I think it was 12 or 13 books last year, I've read nearly half of that within the first 2 months of the next year, which is kind of crazy. The first year that I got into books, I read 42 books a year, which that is an insane amount of books to be reading, especially for someone who was in high school as well. Like, I had a lot of work to do. And then I think that my second year was probably 20-something books, and then ever since then, I've been reading, well, it's been less than 20 books, but for the past like 2-3 years, maybe 3 years, I've only read a handful, or I guess it's more than a handful. It's been less than 20 books though, every year. And I want to read more. In my 2026 goals video, I spoke about how this was going to be the year of reading for me. I was finally going to read actual good books, and I have done it. I've done it, guys. I was not lying in that video. I have already had 2 5-star reads of the year, which is crazy considering I only read 1 5-star book in the entirety of 2025. Like, it was not a good year for reading. And I said that 2026 was going to be a good year for reading, and it damn well is going to be, because I have started the Red Rising series, which is so good. So I finished both Golden Sun and Morning Star, which are the second and third books in the Red Rising series. Both were 5-star reads. Both were so easily 5-star reads as well. Literally yesterday, I went out and I bought the next 2 books in the series, so I will start on it soon. I haven't yet started on it because I'm currently towards the end of The Heart of Betrayal on my Kindle, which is the second book in the Kiss of Deception, or is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles series. And then I guess I'll start on the next Red Rising book. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this series. It's really good, guys. So yeah, I have read some decent books this year, and I am reading more this year, which is exactly what I wanted. Look at me making goals for myself and actually sticking to them. Like, so going to games, I'm still doing my Hello Kitty Island adventure dailies, but that's not something I sit and actively play for very long. Like I said, I go in and I do my dailies, and that's about it. At night before I go to bed, I like to play a little game, or I like to both read and play a game, but I dedicate like the evenings to like video game time. I don't really play during the day. And the game that I've been playing lately is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I got this for Christmas. I hadn't started it until recently because I was working on other games. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. But I guess that's not that surprising because it's got the DNA of a game that I'd like, you know? Like, it's just another cozy game. Of course I was gonna like it, you know? But it is actually fun. I am enjoying it. And literally last night, I started 2 Point Hospital as well because it was 80% off. So, like, I've only played like 2 hours of it or something. But I also really like simulation or management games as well. So, I guess those are the two games that I'll be playing for the foreseeable future. To what I've been watching, I have been keeping up with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 and Frieren Season 2. I've also finished the first season of Hell's Paradise, so I'll be starting the second one, which I also believe is airing now. So I guess there's 3 different things I'll be watching that's airing now. But like I've said in my other videos, that these 3 series I watch with my partner. So I don't actually watch them every week. I watch them every time I'm with him, and I try to go down around every other week. So then we catch up on the episodes that, you know, we're missing or that we haven't seen yet. But the one thing that I am watching on my own is The Apothecary Diaries, and I'm on season 2, and I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, I'm actually watching anime this year as well, which I have not watched a lot of in the past 5-6 years, especially on my own. The only things I ever watch are the things I watch with other people, but I'm watching The Apothecary Diaries on my own. Look at me, guys. So yeah, those are the things that I've been up to lately. I'd love to hear what you guys have been up to lately. Like, if you have any book, game, or anime recommendations, please let me know. I would love recommendations. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then let me know and I can do more videos like this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next week.